The US crypto bill situation has taken a big turn, and I just spoke about this topic in yesterday's video. But since then, it is the only thing that has been on my mind, along with everyone else in the crypto space. Right now, this is the biggest and most important crypto story. So I wanted to make this video to give you guys an update on the situation and also speak about what would happen even if this bill is passed. But more importantly, what does this mean for us as investors? Welcome aboard the Bitcoin Express. My name is Chase. Let's get to it. Before we get into the content, a quick overview of the market. Despite the negative news coming out of Washington, the markets are holding strong. More specifically, Ethereum. And this one is surprising because leading up to EIP 1559, we saw a big run up on Ethereum. This is typical of a project leading up to an event. But usually at the actual event or after the implementation, we see a sell-off. So in this situation, we did not see a sell-off with Ethereum, at least not yet. And also along with this negative news, we have not seen a sell-off either. So this is definitely, I would say, somewhat bullish during these times. And right now you can actually stay updated in real time of Ethereum being burned. I will leave a link for this site down below in the description. And moving on to the topic of today's video. We all know that the US infrastructure bill last minute added a crypto proposal that would raise $28 billion through crypto tax. And the way that they would do this is by imposing very tight and strict regulations on crypto brokers. However, the problem was they didn't define the word brokers. It can mean basically anyone in crypto, software developers, DeFi protocols, wallets. And it's not that it takes away privacy, and it's not that it's difficult to comply. It is that it is almost impossible to comply. Wallets, software developers, DeFi protocols, how are they able, or how are they supposed to track information of their customers and send it to the government, send it to the IRS? They can't really. And in crypto, we always say you can't ban crypto, but you can regulate it. And in this case, if this were to be passed in the United States, you would essentially be regulating crypto out of existence. So in order to clarify these words, this word broker in the bill, Senators Wyden, Loomis, and Toomey, they filed an amendment that would clarify digital asset reporting requirements. And yesterday, August 5th, we were seeing improvements. It looked like we were going to win the battle, but then all of a sudden, out of nowhere, things took a turn for the worse. And Senators Portman and Warner actually did end up making an amendment to their bill. However, it didn't really help much. In their new amendment, they excluded from brokers validating distributed ledger transactions through proof of work mining or selling hardware or software, the sole function of which is to permit persons to control a private key. So this is basically a wallet. So they came back and they defined it, and they basically said, you know what, we're not going to include in this bill these requirements on certain hardware and software wallets, and also proof of work projects, for example, Bitcoin. And this is a big problem. They did come back, they did make an amendment, but it didn't really change anything. So basically what they're saying now is that these requirements will still be applied to proof of stake projects, which is basically every project in crypto except for Bitcoin. And this created a lot of arguments in the Twitter comments, people saying, oh my God, guys, like proof of work is worse than proof of stake. But in the end of the day, we have to remember, right now we need to unite and come together and fight together, because we don't want one project to be regulated and another to not be regulated. We want all validators to be excluded. We want all miners to be excluded. We want all software developers to be excluded. And we want all decentralized exchanges to be excluded. So even with this new amendment, it does not protect software developers, Lightning node operators, proof of stake validators, DEX liquidity providers, or DeFi aggregators, and they simply cannot comply. So what happens if this bill is passed? Well, right before we get into that, let's hope that it doesn't get passed. Today is August 6th, and it is likely that this bill will be voted on tomorrow, August 7th, on Saturday. And right now, what we can do is we can make our voices heard. And you've probably seen this link or this phone number already. And if you have not called, make sure to call your senator. It is very easy. I will leave a link for it in the description below. You can either put your phone number here with your zip code and it will connect you directly to your senators for your state, or you can call this number, go through a few prompts, and it will direct you to your senators. and you'll read this. Exactly. That's all you have to do. It takes 1 minute. And right now is the time, guys. We do not want this bill to pass. But let's say it does pass. Let's say we have these requirements, these strict requirements on basically everyone in crypto in the United States. Well, the first thing is that it won't go into effect until 2023, giving exchanges a year and a half to get ready to meet the requirements along with these other crypto brokers. And during this time, crypto is not going to sit back. During this time, crypto and people in crypto are ready to fight back. If you're on crypto Twitter, you will see across the board guys like Charles Hoskinson, Jesse Powell, the CEO of Kraken, and many others. We are ready to bring this to court and go to war. And I definitely would recommend that if you want to stay updated on the situation, to go on Twitter. You need to be on crypto Twitter. Go ahead and follow my Twitter. Also follow guys like Jerry Brito or Jake Chervinsky. They will keep you updated on the situation. So let's say this bill gets passed. Hopefully it doesn't. We will go to war. But what happens if we lose that war? Well, is crypto going to die? And the answer is no. Crypto will survive. However, the innovation will not happen in the United States. It will migrate overseas. Yes, it will take a step back, but the industry will not die. And I know a lot of people will say, well, you know, the United States is not the center of the world. We don't need the United States. And I agree with that to some extent. However, a lot of money in the crypto space does come from the United States. So if we saw crypto companies and software developers leave the United States, we would take a step back, but the industry would still survive. However, not all projects will survive. Over the next 10, 20 years, only true decentralization will win out. And out of this whole entire situation, all the mayhem, this is probably my favorite tweet from Eric.eth. I don't care how many laws are passed. Ethereum and DeFi are going nowhere. That's literally the effing point of this. That is the point. The whole point of crypto is to be decentralized, to be outside of government control. And many projects are not actually as decentralized as you think they are. And Hester Pierce, the SEC commissioner, also known as Crypto Mom, stated that true decentralization is the only thing that will save DeFi projects. Regulation is not going anywhere. This is something we have been speaking about over the last year. Regulation is coming. It will likely only get stricter, not just in the United States, but other parts of the world. And the only way to win out is to be truly decentralized. Remember, these crypto projects are a major threat to governments and banks around the world. They will not just sit on the side. They will put up a fight. And in most cases, they will win. This is why it is extremely important to focus on decentralized projects. Out of the more than 8,000 cryptocurrencies on the market, many of them will not succeed. Number one, because they will not be adopted. And number two, they will be regulated out of existence. So it's important to focus on true decentralization. Remember, that is the whole point of this, outside of government control. So even if this bill passes, will crypto die? The answer is no. It might take a step back, but the true decentralized projects will remain and they will flourish. Like this video and also call your senators. Thank you for listening, and I'll see you next time.